And today we're going to talk about how Xbox continues to take L's.
It seems like the only community taking L's here happen to be the ones that play on PlayStation, because guess what? You don't have the benefit of Gamepass Ultimate and Dreamcast. Guy, didn't you tell people that PlayStation gamers support the developers? Well, I guess you can enjoy paying $80 for those same Xbox games. You see, it doesn't pay to be a fanboy.
I mean, they just finished the Xbox Game Showcase, and I did a video reacting to it because it was actually pretty good. It had a lot of games, a lot of trailers, and yeah, they're coming to PlayStation 5.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to come to PlayStation 5 with an $80 price tag. And guess what? You still don't own the game on your console. You people ain't nothing but a bunch of fools. Now, mind you, I don't agree with it, but at the same time, I already know by the time GTA 6 come out, we're going to be talking about $100 games. Okay? Let's fast forward it already. We already know this is going to happen. Sony going to do it. Then we're going to see GTA 6 with $100. Let's just get to that point already, because I understand as to why you guys keep doing this fear-mongering content as if we don't already know what's happening. But at the same time, I'm going to be able to enjoy these same games for $20 a month while you ponies out here paying $80. So to me, it seems like the PlayStation gamer is the one that has these problems. And let's not forget, Xbox gamers, we don't buy our games anyway, right? So this ain't no L for us.
You could tell the fact that it was curated. Every trailer, every game, a bunch of subscribers have sent me that every future Xbox game is going to cost $80.
Ha ha.
Starts with the Outer Worlds.
Look at that. Continue to give Microsoft your money. I can't believe it. Gaming is becoming too expensive. It's a hard time just to keep my AC on low. And guess what? And as time goes on and gaming becomes more expensive, what's going to look more appealing? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. Microsoft with their Xbox. They're putting you ponies to a wall to the point where they're like, man, I'm spending all this money. I'm buying PlayStation. I'm buying $80 from Microsoft, $100 Grand Theft Auto 6. That's why you're complaining. And you think PlayStation's going to get any cheaper? No, they need your money immediately because they don't know if you're going to even give them enough money to continue to play their games in the inevitable future. Microsoft is all good. Now, this is very problematic for Sony, because how is Sony going to be able to compete with this? Nobody's going to want to spend that type of money on a PlayStation game. I wouldn't either on an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch title. But when you got a subscription service and it's only $20 a month and you have access to all the games that come to it, well, guess what? It starts to look a little bit more appealing.
Now, I want to explain to you why that's stupid. I want to take a look at some reactions.
Oh, it's stupid because you ponies have to pay for it? You have to pay for the same games that we can enjoy through one subscription service? Well, go buy an Xbox or PC then.
But let's just start with the fact that the Outer Worlds one is a masterpiece. This is created by the people that originally made Fallout, and they did Fallout New Vegas. But the problem is that this game was originally, even by its own marketing, trying to be a budget badass game. It was purposefully cheaper. It was purposefully short.
And they made the game more expensive. I mean, what are you talking about? This has happened with every single game. What are you talking about? Sometimes they'll throw out a cheap project to see if people bite on it, and when they like it, they start putting more money into it, and it starts becoming more of a bigger game. What you're complaining about is nothing new within our gaming landscape.
Purposely a great contained game, starting specifically with Outer Worlds 2 as your first $80 game. This is
it's $80 for you, but it's $20 for us through Gamepass Ultimate. Let's get that correct. So as far as I'm concerned, you PlayStation gamers are the one taking the L.
Monumental mistake. And it just shows the fact that truly Xbox has no idea what they're doing. It is
No, they know exactly what they're doing, because at the end of the day, the game has already made their money off the Game Pass subscribers. Whatever incentive bonus they get from you PlayStation dummies for buying an $80 game instead of just picking up an Xbox and getting everything cheaper, well, you guys are the dummies. Microsoft is literally making you pay just to be a fanboy of PlayStation. It's so funny. And I love it. I love every single minute of it. I love when they complain about the high prices of these games, because guess what? I'm not dealing with these issues. Just saying.
Just purely pencil-pushing accountants trying to make sure that the games that do look good don't sell.
They don't need to sell. See, you guys, and the funny thing is, y'all gonna continue to keep saying this. They don't need to sell. Microsoft has already made their money off their monthly subscribers. Therefore, that's why games keep getting added to the catalog. You guys keep saying Game Pass and Xbox is dead, but then how come time and time again we're seeing some very big titles, including third party themselves, coming to the catalog each and every month? Something that is dead is something that's being drip fed to you, like what you got going on PlayStation. Okay? That is the definition of dead. Not what Xbox is doing. We're seeing games every month. It's getting to the point where it's hard to keep up.
Let's talk. I hope you're having a great day. And the pricing is still inconsistent. Some people are still releasing...
But didn't you say gamers are broke if they can't afford the Pro? Didn't you say that gamers are broke if you can't afford how expensive gaming is becoming? And yet you're the one complaining about the high prices of video games?
70? I mean, this stuff makes no sense. But Xbox has now said everything they're doing, whether it's released on PS5, on PC, or...
That's not true, because Gears Ultimate Edition is still $50. So that's not everything. Maybe every new title from this point forward, but not every game. That's a blatant lie.
Xbox, it's $80. Just across the board, every game is now $80.
So Gears Ultimate Edition just went from $50 to $80? Is that what you're saying? Is that the stance that you want to take, bro? Because I can look on PS5 and see if it's actually still priced at 50 or 40 or whatever it was.
Now, obviously, right now, as I record this on June 8th, PlayStation is still releasing $70 games. They've officially confirmed that Ghost of Tsushima is going to be $70, Silent Hill F, Metal Gear Solid, everything currently listed.
Which is still not very much cheaper.
PlayStation 5 is still just $70. God, I hate the fact that we have to say just $70 when $70 felt too expensive just so recently. But a lot of people are like, bro, the big problem I have with this is that I feel like it taints the good vibes of the Xbox showcase.
It doesn't taint no good vibes on me, because these games I can play all $20 a month. What is actually tainted here? It seems like it taints y'all experience. Now pay up, Pony.
Is coming up next year, we're going to have a bunch of... Oh, it's to emphasize even more people buying it on Game Pass. Oh, the Game Pass...
What do you mean? You don't have to buy it on Game Pass. You have access to it if you just pay for it.
Numbers will be even higher. But
y'all not understanding. It's going to stay the same. Microsoft's getting the money. If you proceed to buy it, Microsoft is opening... It's like having all these faucets that all lead to one. You get it through Game Pass, that's money. You buy the game for $80, that's money. Money. They're getting money no matter what. You buy it on PlayStation, we get money. Buy it on Switch 2 if it comes, we're getting money. Buy it on Steam because you want to be a Steam fan, we're getting money. It doesn't matter, we're getting money. That's how Microsoft's seeing it. They got all these faucets open, and all you see is water coming out of every single one of them. It's like a public bathroom with all the water, with all the faucets on.
I've been the pushback that clearly Game Pass is not enough. The whole reason you're seeing everything first party coming to PlayStation is clearly Game Pass isn't enough. You would not be seeing...
If Game Pass wasn't enough, they wouldn't have continued to still do it. We're benefiting. Xbox consumers as well as PC players are benefiting from what Microsoft's doing. Now, we can argue ownership, we can argue all that, but you don't really own the games anyway. You don't. You don't own none of the games that you download through PlayStation Plus or Premium. You don't, even though they offer you free games to play for paying for it. So why are we using this as a knock towards Microsoft?
Gears of War on PlayStation, or Forza on PlayStation, or let's face it, soon to be Halo on PlayStation, if Game Pass numbers were enough on their own. And I do think 100% this is going to tank sales.
What do you don't understand? Microsoft doesn't care if the game sells. They're making their money through their subscription. This is why I keep telling you fools.
In the pushback.
See, the problem is that PlayStation fanboys have built these narratives that they think a game is only successful based on how well it sold. How about if I told you Fortnite Battle Royale did not sell one copy? In the time that they did try to sell a game, which was Save the Earth, that failed. You know Fortnite hasn't sold one copy of Battle Royale. It was all free. They didn't sell it to you. They gave it to you for free. Fortnite is one of the most successful games. Roblox, another game that is free to play. Remember, so you can't necessarily go based off sales all the time. Because matter of fact, the games that are free to play are making more money than the games that you have to pay for. Y'all like, oh snap, games, you're right. So if you want to sit there and keep bringing up, oh, sales is what determines a game's success, then you have to also explain as to why games that are offered free like Genshin Impact, and as well as all these other games, you have to explain as to why those games are successful, even though they give it out free. Exactly. Y'all can't mess with me.
Outer Worlds 2, it's $80. I wonder if it had the same reaction as when people saw the price.
Honestly, I don't agree with it. I feel like Microsoft raising the price of the games, they should be on the CD at this point. I think it's mediocre. I'm not accepting this, but I'm just saying, I mean, the game is available to me for Game Pass, and if I see it and I want to play it, well, it's there. I'm not really complaining. I mean, even if the game was $200, it's on Game Pass for $20 a month. I'm just saying, you guys want me to be mad about something that I don't need to be really mad about. Now, it sucks. Not saying I don't agree with this, but I know as to why this is happening. And as time goes on in game, just like I've said before, and as game gets more expensive, $80, $90, and then finally $100, Game Pass is going to look very appealing to the quote-unquote casual and average consumer. You guys know, and I've been stating this for you guys a long, long time. We're not even fully there yet, and y'all complaining.
Mario Kart World. I think it's really abandoned Starfield, despite Todd Howard saying they were aiming for yearly expansions.
I mean, PlayStation gamers talking about abandoned games? What are you talking about? Every game that Sony had in development got abandoned.
There's not been a single word on a second expansion after Shattered Space. I reckon Bethesda has cut their losses and moved on their resources.
Oh yeah, just like Sony cut their losses with PlayStation when making those live service and subscription games, right? Like Concord and potentially Marathon and everything else that they had planned.
To focus on the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, the reason I want to end the video with this is that I do think we're in a spot where companies are just trying to figure out how to make the shortest window of the highest profit. Can we gouge the hell out of the big fans? And I think it's having
what seems like the only one they're gouging out of is the PlayStation fanboy.
I want to call the Starfield effect. Starfield is not a good game. I actually think it's a pretty bad...
That is subjective, and that's your opinion.
...bad game in a lot of ways. But did you notice how nobody talked about it even a month after launch? Whereas people are
nobody talked about Concord the day that game launched. Matter of fact, the game had its servers cut within the first week.
Still talking about Skyrim. People are still playing the hell out of Oblivion. Games that are at a $40 or a $50 price tag, right? I do think that, honestly, these high prices, trying to put stuff in such a corner, on such a pedestal, I do think it's creating less word of mouth, less virality, less...
Sure, because last time I checked, you always say that Xbox is dead, so clearly you're getting the word of mouth of somebody. Matter of fact, you had one of your fans saying that the game got raised to $80, and you found out about that, which would be considered, word of mouth. Okay, you know what? Just go ahead.
General groundswell hype. There's an industry term called the thunderclap. I think you've probably heard of this. I've used it in videos before. Companies try to time all their good news in one big spike to really, really skyrocket pre-orders.
It sounds like your typical Sony game. They did a thunderclap with Astrobot. They did a thunderclap with Concord. They're doing a thunderclap with Marathon, and they're failing. So what are you talking about? They're putting all that time. They put all that time in Last of Us multiplayer. They did the thunder, and then poof. Gone. They put all that time in Marvel Spider-Man, the Great Web. They put all that time and resources into that thunder. And then we found out it got canceled. What are you talking about? You don't even know how to use your own analogies and your own examples. And what's even more funny, I use them against you. And they make more sense when I use them. What are you talking about, bro? You sound stupid. The only thunderclaps that we hear going on is the one at PlayStation every time they decide to shut down a studio. Okay? What are you talking about? Last time I checked, you were excited for these Xbox games. Now you're going to have to pay the price of admission just to enjoy them, just to be a pony. And to be honest, as a person that likes all platforms, but you guys want to keep calling me an Xbox fan, boy, I might as well just say, I don't care.
Not with a big trailer. The trailer is
buy an airbox. Game is getting too expensive. Support developer. Buy an airbox to get your games cheaper. To get your gaming fix cheaper. Get everything at once. Get it all through one subscription service. Stop complaining. Buy a PC or an airbox. Okay? Just like you tell us when we miss out on the game, go buy a PlayStation, well, go buy an Xbox. If gaming is getting too expensive on the PS5 platform.
Demo, pre-ordering it gives you a skin. All right, we want to have all the reviews drop at exactly this time at this date so we can be trending on Twitter and on like that era of gaming where it's more of a community instead of just a profit margin. It's weird to feel it fade, but these are just...
Well, it is what it is, man. Gaming is different. Gaming, as time goes on, things change. Sorry to say it to you guys. You know, I mean, even when the Switch 2 came out, there's not that same excitement that even when the Wii U came out. I'm being honest. You know, the promotion. But that doesn't mean gaming is failing. It just means things and people are different. The fanatics that once played gaming are no longer here. They probably don't care. They're probably in diapers. Okay? You know, nursing homes. They're worried about family, raising their kids. They're not worried about this garbage. I don't even care about it. And I still enjoy gaming, but even then, it's time and time again. It just makes me not really care for it. I just try to enjoy the hustle as long as I can. That's it. Like, I'll get the vast majority of these things, but at a discount, at a cheap price. I've told people I get the Switch too. I did tell people, but only when I'm ready, only when I see fit. Mostly secondhand, right? If the Switch 2 drops in price, then maybe. You know, or whatever. Like, it has to be a reason as to why I'm doing something. I'm not just going to outright support something just to do it. I get my hustle on, baby. That's what gamers do when we don't like what we see. We buy our games used. Remember, I don't want to support them. I buy their used, but I still get to play their games, dude. That's the hustle. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not in no rush to get a Switch 2. The Switch 2 will naturally come to me whatever time. People get tired of it. Everybody's, I'm done with the FOMO. I'm done with the hype. Probably sell it to me for $300. I might get it off secondhand. Well, there it is. There it is. You know, and knowing that Mario Kart was bought for it, I'd probably get that for $320. Probably on a freaking Facebook Marketplace or something like that. Okay? There's no rush in anything that I have to do. There's so many games coming out. I could take my time. Even with the Steam Deck, I want to buy one, but I'm hearing there's a 2 and there's a ROG Ally. This is how I'm going to tell y'all how to hustle. This is something my dad taught me, right? When everybody's focused on the new stuff, now mind you, don't tell everybody else. When everybody's focused on the new stuff, that is when you get the old stuff. Y'all like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I don't understand what you're talking about. When everybody's focused on the new fixes and the new stuff. So what I'm essentially telling you, right? You know how everybody's focusing on the Switch 2s, Steam Decks is still expensive. But guess what? When the Steam Deck 2 come out, the Steam Deck 1 is going to lower in price. When the new ROG Allies come out, it's going to lower the other ones down in price. That's when you come in, you swoop in there like a bandit and you grab it for a cheap price. Okay? That is how you get your hustle on. Okay? I have enough games in order. I got thousands among thousands of games. I can afford to wait. You feel me? There's always something for me to do in gaming. If I'm tired of this crap, I go play my Sega Genesis, N64, GameCube, whatever. I don't have to rush. I'm all good. I'm Gucci. I'm good. I'm living in gaming paradise. None of this bothers me. Even when I see things that I don't like, I'll say, man, like even Resident Evil 9. I'm going to get it, but at a discount, $20, bargain bin, just like I did 7 and 8. I have no problem waiting. I did it even with the remakes. Matter of fact, Resident Evil 3 right now on Amazon is PS5 is $20. Okay? I wait. I don't care. You feel what I'm saying? I don't feel inclined to have to buy it for $80 or do all this other nonsensical stuff that, rush out and get the Switch 2 and go off the phone. I don't have to. I'm enjoying my Switch 1 as of right now currently. You feel me? But don't get it twisted. I will get majority of these devices, but only when the time is right. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I spread some knowledge amongst the real gamers within the community. And like I said, thank the members that continue to support my channel every month. I respect you. Thank you guys for following along and enjoying those badges that I put. But like I said, man, this whole stuff that this man's doing has to come to a stop. Take care.